Hey guys, it's Valentina here with Bigger Creations. Got a new video for you guys. Got a lot of exciting news. First things first, this has been by far one of the most requested videos to just kind of go through how I process my vocals and just my whole process around recording and mixing my vocals. I will start with this. I am definitely not a professional, but obviously you guys like how it sounds, so I'm doing something right. If you know more than I do, please, enlighten me. If you see something that I'm doing that is just kind of killing my vocals, please let me know. I definitely want to improve as well. But yeah, first things first, I put these vocals to a subscriber's beat. And this subscriber, I'm just going to pull them up right here. Let's see. They commented on my studio tour video. They're called Fluorescent Records. And I just they got a new one. I'm gonna have to check that out. But this is the beat, and it is sick. It is sick. You guys seriously, subscribe to them right now. 14 subscribers, that's ridiculous. They need way more than that. It's money. It just gets you in the heart right there. So needless to say, I heard this beat and I was like, I need to put vocals on this. It is a need. It's not a want. I have to. So I reached out to Fluorescent Records and they agreed to let me do this video for you guys. So I recorded some vocals and they haven't heard this yet either. So Fluorescent Records, if you're watching this, let me know what you think. So yeah, here is the beat with my vocals, and then we'll just kind of listen through it all the way through, and then I'll just kind of break down everything that I've done.
Yeah, I used to love ya, but now I don't know ya. Everyone knows we can't keep it private no more. I used to love ya, but now I don't know ya. Now everyone knows you're real good friends with that door. Used to call as I got off the clock. Now I see you, we don't even talk. Could we turn into strangers? We put our love in the paper. Sometimes things break so that they can be fixed, and the days they just seem like ticks on the wall, hits on our jaw, eyes made a ball, seeing all the flaws that our minds wanna watch. We smile while we fall so it seems like we're graceful, but deep inside we just hide that we're hateful. Can't just talk like adults, this is grade school. Can't talk, can't communicate. God gave us mouths, but he gave us ears too, okay? And a heart. Don't forget that it pumps blood, but it's also made a house, yo, pure love. Can't live upset cause we broke up. Gotta say thanks cause we grown up. Are we grown up? Are we grown up? No, no. Things, thinking I'll toss all the memories. I don't want to, but I have to. I'm moving on.
Yeah. So you guys, that is the beat. It's pretty sick, huh? So I did the best I could with some vocals, and yeah, it's one of those good beats right there. So yeah, let me just talk through a little bit about what I did here, and yeah. So first off, the first thing I do when I create a vocal track is I just do plus audio. And I've already got it set up to go through my Focusrite into my first channel. So sorry, there's going to be a little echo right there. But basically we've got this bare audio channel. And the first thing I do is here's where all the effects for that specific track are. So the first thing I do is I actually start with a preset. I go to Legacy, Logic. This is the one that I just always use as a starting point. Family voice, and then female, or not family, what am I saying? Female voice, and then female ambient lead vocal. So that's a starting point. And that just by itself sounds great. But I like to do some tweaks to it. So the first thing I do is I go into the channel EQ. And then I change this to voice. Female voice 2 is the one that I find myself using as a starting point most of the time. And sometimes it's just perfect where I need it to be as far as my vocals. So, but again, this will vary based off of the type of voice that you're recording. If you're a guy, obviously, you'll probably want to start with the male version of this. And then you'll probably look at these male ones just because of your voice register and, you know, what frequencies your voice is. And that'll determine what frequencies you want to emphasize. Then I double click on the compressor, and I usually go to voice and type R vocal 2 is kind of my personal favorite. And sometimes I'll go in afterwards and kind of tweak some of these settings, but I found that most of the time my vocals will sound exactly how I want them to just in doing this. Then I go into the limiter and I change this to for vocals, and it just makes it a little bit better as far as the release and the output. And then ensemble, I'll show you guys later, but I really only mess with this when I want to add harmonies and make it sound like they're a little bit more voices than just one. Space designer, I usually keep that the same. I adjust it a little bit for other parts of the song depending on how much reverb the sound of the beat is. But like, for example, this rap part right here, I took a little bit of the reverb off just because it sounded not good. But yeah, so I'll show you guys that as well. And then the last thing I do is I actually add an additional compressor at the end. So I just go to, and these are just my recents, but if you go to dynamics and then compressor stereo, and then I just pick that same template right there. And then based off of that, I kind of tweak it once I have the vocal itself. So this just by itself is what I have. Now you'll notice that when I play, I'm going to mute the track for a second and just do the vocals. So you'll notice I have a little bit of a delay or reverb here, or echo.
Yeah, I used to love ya.
So how I get that echo or delay is what I do is you'll notice here I have the same settings that I just went through, but then I have a bus. And so if I were to do it on this new track that we've been working on, what I do is I hit send, and then you choose an empty bus that you want to utilize. For some reason I use 3, but let's say I want to use bus 1. And then basically it opens this right here. And this layer is basically any kind of effects that you want to put like these, but that you want to have a separate control over to control like how much volume you want those effects to have. These affect the track as a whole. And unless you tweak certain settings inside of each of these, they're all going to affect it completely. Where here you can add an effect and then lower the volume or intensity of that effect through this little knob. So what I usually do is I bust something out and then I actually go to delay and add a tape delay, right? Is this type of delay that I put. And what I did is I put it at a quarter note. And you can hear it, like, for example, I'm going to move this up right here. If I were to take this effect off right now, this is what it sounds like without the delay.
Yeah.
See, there's no echo there. But if I turn this on, until I turn this actually up on the knob, it won't show me the effect that I have in here. So right now it's all the way down. Listen to it again.
Yeah.
Even though my effect is right here, it's not actually making an impact on it until I start putting up the volume on this. So
yeah.
And then if I can make it all the
I
way
used to
louder,
love ya.
if I go back,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it makes my echo like
I used to
super
love
loud.
ya.
So usually I just kind of look at how loud I want it to be.
Yeah,
And if I move this back in the original track, let's see here. See, I have it about right there, so -15. But yeah, that's a good way to, because sometimes if you just add the delay here, then you can't control how loud you want that delay to sound. So here you can actually fine tune by bussing it out. You can fine tune how loud you want the echo to be in comparison to the main vocal. So that's how I do my delay on this. So anything on this track is affected by that. And this is why I've kind of chopped up my vocals, because there are some parts of my phrases and things that I want to have that delay sound, and others that I don't want to have that delay sound. So these tracks right here don't have the actual delay on it. See how I have it bypassed right here. Same with this one, and this one I do have it. So it's just kind of your choice there. So yeah, you can hear the difference here.
now everyone knows.
Got the delay in there, but this one doesn't.
Can't keep it private no more. I used to love ya.
But yeah, so then let's talk a little bit about the harmonies. So right here I have these harmonies.
Moving on, yeah. I'm moving on, yeah. I'm moving on, moving on, moving on, yeah. I'm moving on, yeah. I'm moving on, yeah.
So what I do here, to make it sound like, it sounds like there's multiple voices. Obviously there's 3 because there's 3 different harmonies going on, but in and of itself, like by themselves, they sound like more than one. So how I did that is so I kept all my other settings the same, but then I went to ensemble and I changed, it originally is at 2, I believe, and then here it's like at 15% or something like that is where it defaults to. So I set it up to 4, and you can add more, you can add up to 8, and you can tweak all of these settings. And then the output is the knob. It's kind of like how when we bust an effect out, it's how loud you want that effect to be present. So I didn't want the full vocal to be completely affected by this effect. I wanted about 45% of it, because otherwise, I'll show you the difference. So if I solo this one just by itself, this is the setting I have right now. If I make it more, it's a little bit more extreme. Sounds a little bit like flangered. A little too much for me. I like it here. Sounds a little bit more natural. And I did that same effect to all 3 of these right here. All 3 of them. And that's pretty much it when it comes to those. And then obviously, I mean, you got to look at the levels that you're putting your vocals at. I feel like that's more of like, you'll know when you're doing your mix. And then lastly, I just kind of want to cover how I do the raps. So here's the rap.
Sometimes things break so that they can be fixed, and the days they just seem like ticks on the wall, hits on our jaw, eyes made of ball, seeing all the flaws that our minds wanna watch. We smile while we fall, so it seems like we're graceful, but deep inside we just hide that we're hateful. Can't just talk like adults, this is grade school.
So you'll notice, first of all, I recorded one straight vocal rapping it, right? And that vocal by itself has the same effects as all the other ones. I kept the ensemble the same as the default, so 10% and 2 voices. But then I went into Space Designer and took a little bit of the reverb off. So if we compare it to, for example, the reverb on this track, this one on my normal vocals, it's at -22, and this one it's at -31. So about 10 or so dB less. And that's just because if I were to add it, like if you listen to this.
Sometimes things break so that they can be fixed, and the days they just seem like ticks on the wall,
right?
Hits on our jaw, eyes made of ball, seeing all the flaws that our minds want to watch. We smile while we fall, so it's...
And then I duplicated this track, and then what I did is I chose the phrases or words where I wanted to do emphasis on the words with rap. So I would like re-record that word. And so that's what this track is.
Sometimes things break so that they can be fixed, and the days they just seem like ticks.
So this is just, it's kind of awkward to record.
Break, fixed, seem like ticks.
This it's like you feel like that best friend that just kind of like doesn't know the words and is just kind of finishing the phrases of the song while everybody is singing along. That's kind of what that track is. It's just kind of to add some flavor to the rap by itself. By itself, I mean it's got flow, but it seems like
Sometimes
lacking.
things break so that they could be fixed, and the days they just seem like ticks on the wall,
Yeah, if you
hits
add
on our
this,
jaw,
it just
eyes
makes a
made a
big
ball.
difference. So yeah, and this right here I think is just the end of the rap, which I didn't get to do in one take.
Can't live upset cause we broke up. Gotta say thanks cause we grown up. Are we grown up? Are we grown up?
And then this right here, it actually only says "Are we grown up?" once.
Grown
and what
up.
I did
Are we
is
grown
I
up? Are we
applied the
grown up?
delay on it, just like my other vocal tracks. So I bust that out and did that there. But that's pretty much it, guys. I noticed that adding the compressor at the end of all of your effects just helps them sit a little bit higher in the mix, a little bit more on top and stand out. But yeah, I hope this stuff makes sense to you guys. I don't honestly, like, I didn't study for any of this, so it's just kind of trial and error and messing around with a lot of the things that are here in the software. But yeah, you'll notice that just adding that delay makes such a huge difference. Like if I were to put all of these vocals up here instead and mute this, it feels different.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it still has the song.
I used to love ya.
Oh, that's this track. My bad, guys. All right, hold on. This.
Yeah. I used to love ya, but now I don't know ya. Now everyone knows.
It sounds all right, you know, but it feels a lot more full with the delay in there.
Yeah.
It sounds more thought
I used to love ya,
through.
but now I don't know ya. Now everyone knows. We can't keep it private no more. I used to love ya.
Anyways, guys, so yeah, guys, this is basically all I do with my vocals. You add a little bit more detail here and there, deciding where you want to add these additional effects and things like that. But you'll notice just starting with these presets actually helps your vocals sound really, really good. That's why they're there. So a lot of people, I feel like, look at the presets and say, hey, that's crap. I'm not gonna deal with that. But they're actually there for a reason. I mean, this kind of stuff is created by professionals. So don't be ashamed to use it, and then tweak according to your style or what you're looking for. So yeah, this is how I process things. What I did at the end is, right here normally is your master track. So any effects that you want to affect the entire project, you want to be careful that you're not on like a specific channel strip where it puts the bus on there. Like if you click on this, it'll take you to the bus. You want to make sure you're in the actual master. But in the master, basically what I did is I added a spread. So how you find this is if you click on the arrow, imaging, stereo spread. And what that does is it normally, like, let me turn this off. So normally it'll default to something like this. And it just spreads everything through these frequencies equally from left to right in these different areas. So for example, if I play this right now, I'm going to turn off this limiter too. We'll just have the spread affecting the entire thing. So it's going through both sides. And you'll probably notice this more if you're wearing headphones. But as I tweak this, usually what I do is I lower this side, and then you want to spread the higher frequencies more, because the bass you want to go equally from both sides anyway, more of a mono sound. But yeah, so that's practically what I look for there. And then I add a limiter. I just go to dynamics, limiter, stereo, and if we click on this one, I just kind of tweak it to those settings. Here, I think the only thing that I adjusted is I added 2.5 dB gain, and what it does is it's limiting it to anything that's over the 0 dB. It won't play, and then anything that's below that is adding 2.5 up to where it's at 0. I think that's how it works. So Yeah, it just helps things to sound a little bit more full. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any specific questions, if there's anything that you want me to break down more specifically. But I thought this would be a good opportunity to give a shout out, to Fluorescent Records. Sick beat, fire beat. Like this is the bomb. And a good opportunity to collaborate, and then a great chance to show you guys a little bit how I do my vocals with a real example. So yeah, let me know if you want to know anything more, and keep watching. I have a ton of videos coming up soon, and thanks for all the support, guys. Peace.